My name is Rachel. Today's date is 5 October 2017, and the password is popcorn. Almost everyone has seen the commercials, or the Facebook videos, or even the TV shows like Animal Cops Houston. The broken, beaten, nearly dead animals, mostly dogs, that some families get from pet stores, or they buy on the side of the road because somebody has puppies or kittens, or they buy them from online breeders. Because puppies and kittens are cute, right? But if your child wants one, did they necessarily need one? If your spouse absolutely wants one, or you want one, does that mean that you need one? People so desperately want animals, but where do they get them from? When the puppy gets older and goes into a full-grown dog, sometimes it isn't exactly what you expect. It's bigger than you expect, or smaller than you expect. And that kitten that you purchased grows into a full-grown cat, and its personality changes. And it starts biting people, it starts scratching people. What do you do with that cat? A lot of families make these choices and purchase these puppies and kittens, but then they decide that they don't want them. So what do they do with them? They have two choices. They take them to the animal shelter where they hopefully find their forever home, or they put them out on the streets and make them a stray to fend for themselves. Today I'm going to talk to you about the problem that faces the animals in the U.S. today. Second, I'm going to say what happens to these animals who do not get adopted. Finally, the solution to the overpopulation, overcrowding, and euthanasia in animal shelters. According to the APPA, the American Pet Products Association, it is estimated that 78 million dogs and 85.8 million cats are owned in the United States today. Of those pets, 34% of dogs were purchased from a breeder, and 3% of cats were also purchased from a breeder. 23% of dogs were obtained from an animal shelter or humane society, and 31% of cats were obtained from the shelter. The ASPCA also states that approximately 6.5 million companion animals enter U.S. shelters every year. Of those, approximately 3.3 million are dogs and 3.2 million are cats. But it's just not cats and dogs that enter these animal shelters. When I was in Monterey, California, my parents took me to an animal shelter. There were about 6 horses that were there. One horse looked like he had either run through a barbed wire fence or somebody took a whip to him so many times that he had scars all the way across his body. According to the ASPCA, about half of the animals that enter shelters are adopted each year, 3.2 million approximately, and 1.6 million dogs and 1.6 million cats. But what happens to those animals who don't get adopted? We have gotten better since the 1970s. According to the Humane Society, since the 1970s, euthanasia numbers have declined sharply in animal shelters from about 15 million cats and dogs euthanized in 1970 to approximately 3.4 million in 2013, even as pet ownership has increased. The Humane Society also states, though, that about 2.4 million healthy, adoptable cats and dogs, about 1 every 13 seconds, are euthanized in U.S. shelters every year. That's 2.4 million healthy, adoptable cats and dogs. Like I said, we have gotten better. In a study by Andrew N. Rohn, Ph.D., in the 1970s, shelters euthanized 100 cats and dogs per every 1,000 people. At the time of his article in 2009, that was down to about 12.5 per every 1,000 people. Now, while that's better, some people think we can do even more to help these animals. CBS News reported that 7 in 10 pet owners say they believe animal shelters should be allowed to euthanize animals only when they are too sick or to be treated or too aggressive to be adopted. Now, this does happen. Some animals are taken to the shelter because they're too aggressive. Sometimes the animal shelters are equipped to give classes to these dogs. Finally, the solution to the overpopulation, overcrowding, and euthanasia in animal shelters. Number 1, adopt. There are a lot of organizations out there, a lot of animal shelters out there that want you to adopt. Find an organization who assists those who want to adopt pets instead of purchasing them. In his 2015 article, Kind Streets, Michael Sharp discusses the organization Pets for Life. This organization provides accessible and affordable pet care. In one U.S. city, Pets for Life has served 30,000 pets, provided 19,635 free spay or neuter surgeries, and performed 69,338 additional pet care services. Or, as Bob Barker stated, spay or neuter your pets. All right, if you don't want your pets to breed, get them neutered or spayed. The third, foster. Foster these animals. Before you decide to get a pet of any kind, do your research. There are many online breeders who are credible, but there are just as many who aren't. Having a companion pet who is a designer pet may seem wonderful, but there are so many animals out there who are waiting for someone to give them a forever home and to give them a part of a family. If you're looking for a pet, check the local shelters for that new addition to your family. If your local shelter does not have what you're looking for, you can go to shelters across the states. There are many people that are willing to transport those pets to you. And again, spay or neuter your pets. If you are unwilling to take care of a litter of puppies, then you probably shouldn't have them because you need to have that home for them. You need to find a home for them. So there are pets waiting in animal shelters all over the United States. Foster them. All right? They need a home, whether it's for forever or for just a short period of time till they can find that forever home. If you already have pets, again, spay or neuter them. Again, donate. There are many, many places out there that you can donate. The ASPCA is one. The Humane Society of the United States is another. Or your local shelter. I know Roswell has a local shelter. Donate to them. Thank you.